Yes, yes, people. Welcome to the Straightjacket podcast 191. We are closing in 9 away from 200 podcast. You know what I mean? Maybe the Glazers might go on the 200 podcast. Who knows, eh? Who knows? Pray. But big up to everybody. I want to start at a very, very positive note, people. I want to say, I know how much this means to Nuruddin, but Scholesy is found, people. So those that have been worried about Scholesy, I let Nuruddin let the floor, man. I let you have this one, man. Let them know, people, the good news.
Yo, it's been a weird week, man. Last Wednesday, about 11 o'clock, Scholes Seedorf went outside. Only Seedorf came back. That night, I'm looking for him till mad hours. And every other night, I'm looking mad hours. Looked everywhere. Last night, I sat outside for a minute around 1:30. It was proper humid. Chatting to one of my neighbours. The little rascal's coming up the stairs, meowing at me aggressively. Like, he's having a go at me. Like, saying, where are you? And I'm like,
yeah, I'm gonna go at you, yeah.
He's having a go at me. I'm like, you little absolute rascal.
That's why you call them rascals, isn't it? That's why you call them rascals. But yeah.
Rascal,
but now, you know what I mean? They have to be locked in.
Yeah, he's lost weight. Listen, any of you know anything about GPS collars for cats? Let me know.
Yes.
I'm gonna have to get him a GPS collar, mate, so I can track where he is.
Track him, mate. Track him. You know what I mean? You'll be able to find them.
That's how it
like
is.
our players.
But I just want to big up everybody, man. All the well wishers, all the people that prayed for him to return safe, for him to return safe and well. Big up to everyone, man. It's just mad in how the community is, man. But honestly, you don't know, yeah. Like if you got, you know, I'm a cat lover. I've always been a cat lover, right? So like you don't know until it happens how much you miss him. Like
absolutely,
broken, bro. Look, I've lost my voice from calling him every night, wandering the streets like a madman.
Man.
You know what people talk about the cat woman? I'm the cat man, innit? Like, I'm that crazy cat man. Now all of my neighbors are all like, "Oh, thank God he's back. Now we can get a good night's sleep."
Yeah, that's what I mean, man. It's not all doom and gloom. It's not all doom and gloom, people. You know what I mean?
No, it was just put everything on top of each other. It was just like, can I get a break, please?
Exactly, mate. So now, man, big up to Scholesy, big up to everybody in the chat. Nearly 500 of yous already. You know what I mean? It must be they want therapy. You know what I mean? So Nuruddin, obviously, like the video if you can, please. You know what I mean? Straight from the off. Please do hit that like button. Subscribe to my channel. Subscribe to Nuruddin. We're going to be straight live after this as well. And yeah, Nuruddin. Ten Hag furious by broken promises. I don't even think I've exaggerated anything there.
No,
the leaks are all coming out, Nuruddin. The players are already
Saeed, rinse and repeat. Ollie, Rania, Ten Hag now. 8 months. 8 months of rinse and repeat.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So, what's changed?
All of those agents are looking after their clients. So getting it in. Say who's quicker to get this in. Yeah.
What has changed, man? You know what I mean? When you look at it, man, I don't know what. That's why I said to you, Nuruddin, you know, when I said to you about Myrtle and these guys, when they produced that file for their project, man, I said it's all lies, in it, and you only have to take the bait in it. Obviously, Ten Hag took the promises. He said that he might do this and he'll have control in this aspect and this aspect, but in reality, a leopard don't change their spots, in it. You know what I mean? These guys are the master bluffers.
Saeed, we already know one of the things that one of the first things that in the interview tonight, we already know what it was. You have to get the best out of these players because everybody at United.
You said it.
He said it. He said it. He was like, these guys finished second, and then he realized. And now they told him you have to get the best out of what we've got there, mate. Improve them.
You can't improve them. I'm sorry, Nuruddin. You cannot improve them.
No, the damage. They've gone. They've damaged.
I was having a big up to my guy Mo. Yeah, I was in the gym today, and we were talking about it. Yeah, the same players are still playing. Shaw, Rashford, Maguire, McTominay. Like, is it in their contracts that these guys play? Like, is there something that the club have told them? We want these British players playing, and they have to play. We have to show that. You know, we're all about, you know, promoting the British core and the youth and whatever. Like, generally, because in a day, if it's about quality and if it's about who actually should play, then these guys shouldn't play. And I'll tell you what, yeah, Donny van der Beek, yeah, this is a telling story. Donny van der Beek, yeah, and McTominay are both on the bench. But who comes on first?
McTominay.
McTominay. Like,
some people will tell you something. That's because of the height, with the long balls. Because that's what he's there to do. I'm like,
come on, man.
Yeah, mate.
He's the always one to get a yellow card. He's always the one that doesn't make successful passes. He's always the one that has a bad game. When do you rarely see Donny a worse game than
how can they change this guy? They were grooming him to be captain. They're grooming him to be the next captain. So it's not even about youth, because they want to let Ghana go, by the way. 6:35 people were going live, United Real Therapy. Yeah. Trust me. I put in a favor this morning, Saeed. As soon as I heard the news, somebody that I hardly ever called, Saeed. I hardly ever called them for anything, any info, what's going on at this football club. I called them today, and they set me fucking straight.
Wow. That's crazy.
Now, they're adamant that Ghana and Ten Hag developed a really good relationship, and that he had a plan to develop him. And now the club are forcing him to sell him. They're forcing Ten Hag, and Ten Hag's going to have to say, oh, well, he has to go, right? They're basically taking it out of his hands and try to sell this kid. Because, Saeed, he's the only person we can get any money for right now.
No.
Because he's not been damaged. He's not been tainted. Do you understand what I'm saying to you?
I know what you mean, bro. 14 million. 14 million.
Bro, that guy was successful part of that promotion team for Nottingham Forest last season. A key part. He was a key player in that midfield. You know what? This kid plays England under 21 international, Saeed. He is England under 21 international. This kid has been at this football club for 8 years, and nobody can ever tell me, that he's not better than McFred.
Everybody knows
abilities
that.
Together.
Yeah.
He's not. And that's why I know, Saeed. I know Ten Hag ain't in control. No, to me, hardly any of these managers were ever in control. They're never in control, Saeed. They're never.
Nah, and that's the situation.
And people we need to name and shame people, Saeed, because that's what we do in here, innit? We name and shame. Every one of the Muppet pundits that came out had a go at Ranić. All of you, get on your knees. Get on your knees and kiss his feet right now.
Yeah. Shame on you, innit? Yeah, absolutely. Big up to someone said about Jamie Vardy. Bloody hell, man. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry.
You know what? We go from one simmer frame
to one
simmer frame, mate. Is what flavor simmer frame you want? You want a British brand or do you want a European simmer frame? What simmer frame do you want, innit?
I tell you what, man. Number 6 Ericsson simmer frame, mate. I don't want to see him in that 6 role again, man. Oh my God. Not in this system. Big up to Leif Nuruddin. I'm tearing up here. Thank God, Scholesy. I've been thinking about how heart-wrenching this must have been for you. Big up the guys, man. Love, man. Love to everybody, man. Honestly. Big up to
Leif, big up, brother. Love.
Yeah, obviously, man. I was happy this morning, man. Nuruddin, please ask your contact about Ronaldo. It hurts seeing him blamed for everything. We will discuss that a little bit. But for me, someone said about Rabiot's money is being used as part of Ghana. You know what I mean? They're trying to raise up the funds for this club, man. They just don't want to spend it in the right way and back this manager, man. Seriously, man. Like, this wasn't never the plan. This was never the plan.
Everything that we've been told, people like you were skeptical, always skeptical about new structure, about this.
I told you, didn't I? And people going mad at me. People saying to me, but you're negative. It's a new structure. Things will change. I said, listen, the leopard doesn't change its spots. Things don't change at Man United. It never is, man. When you get a guy who had a different role, Nuruddin, and then all of a sudden you put him into a different role that he's never experienced, by the way, I'm going to be very skeptical because I'm like, hold on a minute. Why can't we just got Campos? Why can't we just get Ralph Rangnick in that role who have experience? Why?
Because we don't like external guys.
We don't like external
guys. Because external guys expose the football club. And we have to keep brand at Man UFC. Brand Man UFC, mate. Brand, everything's all right. Everything's all shiny and rosy. Look at McTominay. Look at Maguire. Look at Rashford. Bruno is there. Ronaldo. Listen, the thing I'll say about Ronaldo is that Ronaldo, I think it's no secret. Ronaldo now, apparently, Right?
I don't like this, by the way.
Speaking in
He's
his
been
own-
made a scapegoat now. I don't like it.
No, we
I don't
can't
like
scapegoat
it.
him. We can't scapegoat him.
You
We
can't scapegoat him, man. I'm
We
sorry.
can't. Listen, this is what's going on before Ronaldo. Ronaldo's not been here for the past 10 years. And we've been shit show for the past 10 years. Ronaldo's not been here for the past 10 years. We've been a shit show for the last 10 years, Saeed.
Yeah. You know, my thing is, yeah. My thing was, yeah, a Compass. Is his name Compass, isn't it? He's
Compass.
coming to that football club. He's worked with the manager and identified every single player they want. They've worked together and they have got in the right recruitment. The right for once, yeah, PSG are actually moving like a big club. They're getting in names in. They're getting in proper players that are fitting into that guy that got him from Napoli. No messing around. We're gonna go and get him. And that is a player that Man United should have got. If this De Jong situation was sorting out, that's when you get a sporting director. So you know what? Hold on a minute. I've got another player over here. You don't just go and find Rabiot. I mean, come on, man. Don't just go and find something that's maybe cheap and available and it's so easy to get. How does this club not go and try and test themselves? Because you know what? They're not good at what they do. They can't go and get Fabian Ruiz. Yeah, they bought Fabian Ruiz, but they can't do it. They can't simply negotiate. Look how long it takes them to sell players. Look how long it takes them to buy players, Noureddin. Look how long it takes, Noureddin.
Well, it's crazy. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy, right?
Yeah.
How, in terms of levels, what we're thinking about. Like this, to me, I don't know, honestly. Yeah. You know what? You know, sometimes, when you run out of words, what more can you say about this football club? Like, you think about it, right? For me, I looked at it and I looked at it simple, innit? When I look at these people, yeah, I always said to you, bankers are playing musical chairs. I always insisted. I didn't really comment too much that I gave props to Murta, what he did with the youth and the women. I always said dealing with the first team is different level.
Okay, I'll give you that.
Yeah. But one thing I always said, Saeed, bankers playing musical chairs ain't gonna be the answer for this football club.
Yeah.
Bankers, the Richard Arnold sat there, Saeed, right? Sat there.
I can't believe people
and a half next to Woodward, and all of a sudden he's gonna have a different thing. And at the end of the day, the Glazers, the parameters are set. We run on the Glazonomics, and now they haven't got money, Saeed. Back in the day, they used to be able to go out and I told people, and the only things that are coming out now, Saeed, what I was telling people 3-4 years ago. Man United take loans out to sign players. They just keep whatever the thing, because all our football club is tied to a banking instrument, Saeed. It's all in a banking system. But I'll let you read out some of the super chats.
Yeah. Big up to Rachel in the chat, by the way. Hopefully you're good, Rachel. Champagne Pappy says Scott McTominay was signed for United because he was Fergie's nephew. You know what? If McTominay was foreign, he would be sold immediately. Dead baller, wouldn't stand out in the Conference League. I said it, man. I don't think there's anyone even in the Premier League, honestly, that would take Scott McTominay. Big up to Brandon Jefferson. Love your content, City fan. And wondering if you are surprised how Ten Hag has fell in line with the Glazers so far. I said we'll discuss that as well now, by the way. I think he could walk. I genuinely do, man. YUFC says, I rather we keep Jimmy Garner than San Rabiot. What's the point of our academy? Who's next? Garnacho, Iqbal, Savage. Every day the club find new lows. Again, you know what I mean? The academy is, again, further proof of why you build up the academy and then all of a sudden you're selling them. You know what I mean? Is that what we are now then? Are we doing what Man City's model is?
We get rid of the quality players, but we keep the dead ballers. That's what we do. That's what we do.
Absolutely, man. Big up to Owinski. He says it's evident that the club is broke. A budget of 120 million in this current market was our joking. Selling Ghana, fans have had enough, man. Again, people fell for the bait in terms of the actual, the when he said 200 million to spend. Remember when he said that, Noureddin, in the pub, and everyone said, "Oh, Richard Arnold is doing something different, give him time, don't paint him under the brush." I remember what I said to you was putting Woodward under the bus and saying, "Oh, what did he say again, by the way? What did he say?
He goes, when I walk into that training ground, do you think we spend $1 billion? Like,
no, the other one when he said, remember when other
I'm not getting involved in football. I'm not getting involved in the football matters. I'm not going to be like the other guy. I'm not going to get involved in the football.
No, but the other one was when he blamed Woodward. Remember what I said to you? He blamed Woodward for something, and he said something about, oh, remember what happened when Woodward was spending all the money? And I was like, hold on a minute. You were part of these little meetings that they were
Bro,
having.
you're one of his best friends from uni. This is your boy who got you the job here.
But he put him under the bus.
Saeed,
And
you
then
know
all of a
why?
sudden now.
Saeed, he probably rang him and said, listen, I've got to try to get the fans on side. I'm going to have to throw you under the bus.
And this is what...
Saeed, come on.
Yeah.
Saeed, I already told everyone, and some of our fan base were falling all over each other, feeling sorry for him. I told them all, this guy was talking to Joe Glazer, talking to the communication department. They even told him what to wear. The 2 vans of police fans outside that pub. And then to pretend, oh, he didn't even know he was filmed. Are you effing kidding me? Like you didn't know you filmed. Every human being is carrying one of these now. Every human being.
Yeah.
And they can film you anytime, mate. Everybody's got a camera. But the media all falling over themselves. Oh, Man United fans betrayed his trust. What trust? The man used the fans as a PR stunt. Don't get it twisted. It's PR.
Yeah. Big up to Rachel. Woodward did what the Glazers wanted and they threw him under the bus. It always comes down to the owners. Commercial silence still happened after he left with Ronaldo. Window's been a shambles. And what did we hear yesterday about Ronaldo? Why they're reluctant to sell him? Because they only see him as the only commercial asset that they've got in the football club.
I think you should leave. Yeah. Ronaldo's got enough money to get himself out of that contract. He should just leave. Because then, you know what? There's always, look, we blame Pogba. There's always scapegoat in it. Why do I always tell you about Man United people? Man United love somebody to scapegoat, and Man United love a savior. We're a club. And you know what? I don't blame the fans too much because in our history, in 100 over years in our history, we've only been, Saeed, 3 managers have only won the league. 3 managers have won the league. So we are a club, even in our history, that's built in to this savior complex. And then the blame game, we blame one person. No, Ronaldo, that dressing room was toxic before Ronaldo got there. It'll toxic with Ronaldo in there, and it'll be toxic when Ronaldo leaves. At the end of the day, it's simple. Fish rots from the head, Saeed. I have to repeat it.
You're right,
Fish
man.
Rots from the head. When the toxic shit streams downwards, you can't wash it because it's constantly streaming downwards. Because the shit's coming on top of your head. You can't wash it. These players are damaged. And genuinely, on Ten Hag, he underestimated the league. He underestimated these clowns. Because as a manager, you want to come in, right?
I know. It's the ego, man. I get it. Everybody has it.
You want to believe in your abilities to manage. But not this bro. Eric Ten Hag is never in his life ever going to manage a club toxic as Man United. He's never going to do that. Never. To be fair to him, it's a hell of an experience what he's going through now.
Yeah.
Hell of an experience.
It'll make or break him when you actually deep it because of the fact that he might just think, you know what, is it worth it, man? My reputation's on the line here. These players are not trying.
I personally think he should walk. Nobody can fix this, Saeed. Nobody can fix this unless
what did it explain to him?
The fundamental, the owners and the bankers go. Nobody. And their bum jums like Murta, somebody they can control and manipulate. That's all they and somebody they can control and manipulate. And you know what? Yeah. Fair to people like Danny and that, they go, okay, they've got to navigate. No, Danny, it's the other way around. The Glazers will navigate you and fucking drive you around, mate. That's what they'll do. It's the other way around. You're not here to navigate the Glazers and the bankers. The Glazers and the bankers.
You're not here to reason with them. We're not here to reason with them. We're not here to reason with them as well. You know what I mean? Like, and that's the thing, man. Big up to Makaifa says, can these players turn it around with hard work? Listen, they're false pretenders, man. They'll show it in one training session, and then again they'll do it another thing later on, man. It's simple as that, man. Rabadam says with a month players will stab Eric Ten Hag in the back. I did say that as well. Awinski, big up to you. Said I think the club is fragmented beyond repair. There's a major disconnect between players and the fans, players and management. No way back from this, man. You know what, man?
But Saeed, you know what? To be fair, I always used to ask in it. Will I take relegation? Would you take relegation to get rid of this guy?
Man. I think I would, man. I'm not gonna lie to
There
you.
we go. There we
I
go.
think I would, man.
Look, and this is a man who loves his football club, believes his football club.
Yeah.
And you know what? Every time I used to ask him that question throughout the years, he would say to me, Nuruddin, that's too crazy. That's a bit.
Yeah, I always think, there's a better way around it and that, but I ain't gonna lie to you. For everything to be a reset, when you call a reset, I said it about 3 years ago, man. We need a club reset, like everything from top to bottom. And it generally does need that, man. And that's where the football club is at in a minute, because they're bringing in people that they can't really, the guys that are doing it, they're not trained in what they do. And then it's like relying on people who are not professional. They're not specialized in their positions. So now Tenaga said, you know what? I don't want your help now. I'm going to rely on the ones you want to give me. And that De Jong deal there is what they was relying on. And then there's no plan B, because these lot are not good at plan Bs.
And the idea, Saeed, the idea that Rabiot was part of Tanag's plans to bring him to Man United. I'm sorry to say, but they just show him the vault. Well, what players have you scouted then? Oh, Rabiot is cheap. Look at the players that we're going for. Look at the prices. Look at the players we're going for and the prices. And now Rabiot is going to come, regardless whether he performs or not, Saeed. Everybody knew that Juventus were willing to scrap his contract and pay him off, like they did with Ramsey. He's the second highest paid player in Serie A. They got him on a free when we were linked with him. Remember, 3 years ago.
Yeah.
PSG on a free. And everybody and their nan knew that this guy, no other clubs were coming for him. No other clubs were coming for him. But all of a sudden, Vardy now sometimes on the bench. He's getting a bit injured. Man United! Man United. And Man United are now want to sell a kid that's been there since he was 8 years old without even giving him a chance. Saeed, like you said, I watched your show yesterday. Who's picking the team? Are any of these managers picking the team? Seriously.
I'll be honest, I don't know anymore, man. I don't know, man. Maguire keeps playing. Like, now Ghana's gone, McFred will play every game now.
Donny van de Beek, like, I'm sorry, but I won't mind, Saeed. I will not mind if McFred are pulling up trees. I won't mind if they're telling the fans, listen, you don't might not like me, but nobody can drop me.
Yeah.
With their performance. So we might as well try something different then. Like, what do you always say, Saeed?
Yeah.
That famous Einstein, I think it might be Einstein.
It's sanity. Yeah, trying the same things again and again, expecting
different results.
Yeah. You know what I mean? And like I said, now, we're already in we're already now bottom of the league, Nordin. We've lost apparently 4 games on the bounce, 4-0. I mean, have you ever seen this, man? Like the fall of this, like, and you know what it is? Yeah, people can say to us, "Oh, we're like Arsenal and whatnot." This is not Arsenal, because Arsenal were on the decline under Wenger, and we've been on the decline from Fergie. And even himself, he was carrying or masking the problems of the Glazer. When you look at it, he was carrying a lot of it on his shoulders and saying there's no value in the market. And then kind of, you know it already, Nordin.
Saeed, I tell people, Manchester United on transfers made net profit for years under Fergie. Before the Glazers come, Man United used to go and splash out, breaking British transfer record after British transfer record. And then Fergie come out with the famous line for Fergie and Gill, there's no value in the market. The question is now, is Fergie, but then I'm like, is it too much? I have to ask an elderly man.
No,
I was asking him to come on board. Fergie used to come out and say, Glazer's out, mate. He has to safeguard his legacy. He has to.
He's
got enough money, Saeed. He's got enough money.
He won't do it, man. Same like Rio now. Again, like excuses. And it's only really Gary Neville. Fair play to him, man. You know what I mean? Like I was a bit kind of like a bit 50-50 on Gary. Big up to YUFC. You guys want to hear a joke? Man United stumbled on elite world director and sacked him for being a poor manager. Exactly. And most of the stuff that he was telling us as well was true, but people said to him no. And then Murto, I bet you Murto got in the brain of Ten Hag and said, you know what? Nah, man, he's not really good, this guy, And
so,
he said we need 10 players.
Saeed, he stopped talking to him. Murta stopped talking to Ranier from February onwards.
Yeah. Big up everybody, man. 1.1k in the building. Apparently only got 300 likes, man. Guys, man, let's get it up to like, 700 likes. Lord is going to get off now. Guys, please like the video, man. You know what I mean? If you're enjoying the content, please smash a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel. You know what I mean? We're doing well at the minute. And subscribe to Nuruddin. He just went past 6k, by the way. Big up on 6k, bro, by the way.
Listen, Saeed. It is what it is. Listen, guys, genuinely, I've lost my voice. Saeed's here making content every single day, every other day is live. So the least you could do is support. You ain't going to get this level of truth on any of the channels. Everybody's skating around. Everybody's skating around. Here, we just give you how we feel and we see it. It's passion. It's honesty. Or best of our opinion. Nothing we say is to 100% truth. Research.
You know what? Yeah.
Research about your club. What's going on at your club?
Big up to Nate H says board didn't like Ralph exposing him, saying no to players who went to top clubs with McFred. That's a club thing, wanting it to work to prove people wrong. Exactly. But it's a naivety, and it's also not realizing that, other clubs are going to be moving on. You know what I mean? My thing is, big up to Lou Macari, by the way. I didn't like the bit he said about Rabiot, but I think his overall message was superb, And
Did you read between the lines? Did you read between the lines when he mentioned
of course.
Tottenham? When he mentioned Tottenham and Arsenal?
Yeah, of course.
Saeed, please let the people know we know people who work for MUTV. People, Manchester's small, like Manchester in the central part of Manchester where people go, it's small. We have most off the record conversations. There's things on here we can never honestly tell you guys. I swear to you.
Big up Grizz, man. Big up Grizz in the chat. He said, big up Nuruddin, my favorite United fan. Love to you, bro. Remember when Gary Neville was saying that Conte wouldn't work for United and he's calling the Glazer. But I think Conte would walk. I know, I love Conte.
My guy would have lasted a week. Come on, Saeed.
A week, yeah. I'm not gonna troll Nuruddin. Listen, people.
Nah, listen, you know and I know, Saeed. You know and I know. Mixing the Glazers with a guy like that, Saeed, you know what's going to happen, innit? You know what's going to happen. You know what's going to happen. You see how Ralph Rangnick was treated? Conte is far more worse. At least Ralph Rangnick wasn't getting personal. My guy would have got personal, Saeed. My guy took Chelsea to court.
Yeah.
People forget that.
Yeah.
We'll see how this honeymoon lasts with Tottenham. We'll see.
We'll see. Question, guys, where do we go from here?
Where do we go from here? If you're a match-going fan, if you know any match-going fans, you say to them, do whatever needs to be done. Empty Old Trafford, mate. Go in, sit down, get the hell out. Large section of that stadium needs to be emptied. And I'm a believer somewhere, somehow. I'm just believing in hope. If Jim Radcliffe sees that, he might think, I might have to strike when the iron's hot.
Yeah. That's what his thing is. My thing is, it's not about that. I just hope that we have a guy who's serious, credible, and bids in, because that's what the stumbling block is. I know you weren't too fond of the Saudi owners, but they bidded in 3 billion, and then the United, they said we want 5 billion, and they thought to themselves, hold on a minute, United really is not worth that much. When you look at the infrastructure we need to build, we look at the training ground, when you look at the culture, looking at the all-round, looking at East Manchester compared to South Manchester, it's two worlds apart.
Hey, you know what? Honestly, it's like every time I cycle around there, it's like sometimes I go along the canal, innit? I go either way. I go this way to OT on the canal, or I go that way, innit? Just when it's a nice day, innit? Cycle along. It's a little cycling route, innit, along the canal. Every time I go that way, I feel sick to my stomach.
Yeah, of course.
Feel sick to my stomach.
Yeah, absolutely. But someone's asking, where do we go from here?
Where do we go from here? So, listen, it's got up to the fans to unite in it. I said all of the YouTubers, all of the content creators, all of the big channels on Instagram and on Twitter, everybody needs to sing from the same hymn sheet. Glazers out and now. Time to sell. Empty Old Trafford. And then, same with all the different fan groups. And then afterwards, Saeed, when we get rid of the Glazers, everybody can go back to their little corner and hate each other. And I'll start that. I promise you, I'll start that.
Now we
I'll
just like
start
each
naming
other.
names. I'll start the hate. As soon as we get rid of the Glazers, I'll start it. I'll start the
But
chaos.
I think generally though, once we get that, I think we will see a different United fan base. A one that's positive, a one that will want to succeed. I think this will be a turning point for everything. But at the same time, the worst thing that could happen for me, I know it sounds crazy, but if then Ten Hag goes, we're back to kind of like, getting a new manager and then everyone feeling a bit positive and then everyone feeling, oh, I genuinely think for me, like I said to you, I want to do it all in one time. The Glazers go and then we kind of move on from there and then it's like a fresh new start, man. I genuinely just think with the manager, if he walks, what kind of effect will it have? Will it be an outburst in terms of the fans will just go mad? Or will it be like, right, go and get the new Mex thing and then everyone's kind of excited again about the next new toy? You know what it's like. Fans are fickle, Nuruddin. And then it's new signings get involved. I don't want that. I want people to still be in the realist and have a sense of realism. So, you know what? Right now, we need to stay focused. But like I said, man...
You know, the thing about it is that the worst thing about Ten Hag is that Van Gaal warned him,
You know. By the way, yeah, did you see my tweet yesterday? What's wrong with you, Man United fans? By the way, they don't look ahead, do they? I said to people, "Don't blame Ragnick," and then they said to me, "Get this Ragnick out, and he don't know anything. He's an old man." The next thing you know, we need 10 players. Van Gaal made something credible, and then all of a sudden, people are like, "Oh, bitter old man," and now
who's the bitter old man? Who's the bitter now?
What is it with United fans, man?
Yeah, because you know what? Listen, some of them I understand the sentiment because they want to be protected because there's a genuine love. So when the truth is hard, you want to come out and support your club. Yeah, but this isn't your football club anymore. Those days are over. That's the question we're going to be asking United Real Therapy straight after this. Are we a football club? Are we a football club anymore, people? Are we? No, we're not. We're not. The question is simple. Majority of them people think we're a football club. We're not. Big up, Owensky. Yeah. I hear you, Nuri. But how do we mobilize? Well, what we mobilize is bro, Roma's unbuilt in a day. Yeah. We have to do it bit by bit. You have to do it bit by bit. We have to go and do it bit by bit. And we have
this one here, yeah. This bit here is the when it says big up to Killers, we're a business. That Ghana thing, it doesn't make sense selling him, like it generally doesn't make sense.
Without even, at the people that we have. Without giving him a chance. Without giving him a chance.
Yeah. But then you give a guy who's been there 3 years.
This is the thing, like McFred, I don't mind him. Like, I don't have anything personal against him. They might be do more weights, more running, more this, more that. They're both in at 6:30 in the morning. They're the last to leave. All of that could be true. But I won't mind if they were pulling up trees, Saeed. But they're not. And these guys are not getting a chance. He's played big man football in one of the most competitive leagues in European football.
Yeah.
And you know what? He was part of a successful team. That's why, Saeed, my biggest disappointment for me, he got injured. He got injured in the preseason.
I know you did say that, and I wasn't understanding it at that point, But you know what? You're right. At that point there, if he'd had some time, maybe. But then again, if the club, I think that's damning on the club again for him to be using him while in preseason. Then all of a sudden, when he's fit and ready, sell him. That's what they're doing now. When he's fit and ready, if he was injured now, would they sell him? I know that sounds crazy, but if he wasn't in around the first team, but now the fact that he's made the first team and they've seen a little bit glimpses of him, they're thinking, you know what? Let's go and make some money out of him now. Let's go sell him. I know it sounds like again, it's business. Again, it's it makes sense. But to us, we've not seen him as fans. How can you not listen to the fans first of all? How can you not listen to the fans though?
Saeed, it's crazy.
I don't know, man.
It's crazy, just think, bro. Everywhere I think of it, it's crazy.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Bottom of the league.
It's crazy. Everywhere I look at it.
Liverpool next. Southampton next. Leicester away. Arsenal at home. I don't know when the next win is coming, man. I'll be honest with you, man. This team as well needed a whole... In terms of the rebuild, it needed players going out, man. I stressed enough, that we needed a lot of players going out, man. As much as we bring in players here, you've got to get rid of players, man. And that's why I was a bit worried. That's thinking, Wan-Bissaka's still here.
Saeed, we can't. Saeed, please explain to the audience. We always have to repeat
Glazer,
in the game.
I know.
Glazer takes that. No. Rachel's got a comment here, Saeed. Rachel's got a comment there.
Ten Hag a puppet. Why do people say stupid things? He's a manager trying to do his job. The dressing room is already a mess. You want him to cause chaos instantly. Crazy people. That's why I said in terms of the Ronaldo thing that he would never say, I'm going to sell Ronaldo. Like, he'll have to wait and assess his options. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, it's lambs to the slaughter here, man. You're going to get cooked. Are we selling Bailey before Jones? Alex Ferguson equals a problem. I'm not gonna say that. But I think for me, I did question Alex Ferguson into the fact that he has a lot to say about managers and here and there, but doesn't have really anything to say about the owners. I mean, when are you going to do it? You're basically the
did you see that interview? There was a famous clip in the summer, actually. It was that horse racing thing, and it was an Irish TV, and an Irish guy asked him about United, and you know what he said? The manager has to have control. Honestly, no word of a lie. Famous quotes. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm going to try and find that video. And he said, the manager must be giving control. What does that mean, Saeed?
But he means that the Glazers need to give the control to the manager. But the thing is, though, how does that make sense, though, when he knows every manager has been undermined or every manager has not had his way? Like, does he then not kind of look? Surely he must think, right, the pattern here is saying that the ownership dictates where the manager's kind of future lies. You see what I mean? So I don't really get that point, to be honest with you, Nuruddin. I don't really get that point, man.
I'm going to look at them now and see if we can play the audio, maybe.
Okay. Fair enough.
Honestly, it's surreal. I'm going to try to find it now. Fergie, Irish. It was an Irish TV.
Big up to everybody watching, man. Make sure you guys smash a like on the video, people. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. But like I said, man, you know what I mean? I don't know what happens next. They came into training yesterday, Nuruddin. Apparently there's leaks coming out of a bus stop in the training ground as well. What do you reckon that's all about, the bus stop? Is that just ego then?
Saeed is just, come on now. Saeed, they're having bus stops now. Saeed, they're having bus stops now.
Yeah.
After conceding 9 against Liverpool in both games.
Yeah.
After conceding 9 at Old Trafford in 2 different times against Liverpool. After conceding 4 against, or 2 against Man City, or whatever it was, 4, whatever it was. After losing so many games, they're now Saeed. Saeed, I always said in it, the old line is this, table never lies. I kept telling you all last season, that table was lying. We were never 6, Saeed. Never in our life 6. It's just everybody else had a horrendous season. I say it now. If you, any Man United players out there, and now you're having a bust up, you're an embarrassment. You are absolutely embarrassment. It's gone beyond. It's way beyond the bust up times. Way beyond. Oh, bust up here now. Bust up was after the Europa League final. That's why the bust up should have come. That's what the bust up would have come. Bust up was when you're losing against Sheffield United during a lockdown after you went top of the table. That's when the bust up should have come. Bust up was a year and a half too late, mate.
Yeah. Nuruddin came looking like Russell Westbrook. He's a basketballer. I don't even
know who Russell Westbrook is.
Yeah, it's a basketballer, man. You know what I mean? It's like I said, man. Maguire, you know what I mean? Like I said, do you reckon he'll get dropped for the Liverpool game? Do you reckon Shaw will get dropped?
Saeed, when I try to explain people, in the politics in modern football, politics in modern football, what happens, is that the fact that nobody truly says to the manager, you got to play this guy. But when you know somebody's 80 million and was already made captain and you drop him, you get certain looks if you're the manager, if you're the coach. People look at you like, what's going on here, mate? And that's enough, Saeed. That's enough.
Yeah. Big up to Bombay, bad boy. You know what I mean?
I can't agree. I can't disagree with anything he's saying here.
Fergie, along with others, got to get a fact check to keep quiet and toe the line. Please do a show divided in what Fletcher and Neil Ashton.
Diving into
Twitter, so many fake accounts. I'm sure Neil behind a lot of Man United ones.
Oh,
listen, come on, man.
I'm not gonna lie to you, Saeed. At times, I thought it was Neil Ashton that kidnapped Scholesy. I'm telling you now. At times, I thought.
You know how dangerous he is, though. Neil Ashton is that you never see him, but you hear him. That's when you know a guy's dangerous.
Remember when you share that? When you share that from the MGM, so you know the MGM, you know the meeting that they have with the shareholders. You know when you share that WhatsApp video of him, and there he is. Who's he next to? Sat next to Richard Arnold.
Yeah. Big up to Third Man Chaz or Charlie in the chat, man. Make sure you go subscribe to his channel. Stephen here says opinion on Martinez playing a CDM with Varane and Maguire centre backs. Personally, no. We have to try something to discontinue McFred. I'll be honest with you. I wanted to stick as play centre back, man. I know it sounds crazy, but if he's been playing there for majority of his career, stick to it, man. You know what I mean? Like, if only the manager does it, fair enough. But if you want my honest opinion, I'm still playing him at centre back, man. But I'm not playing him alongside Maguire, man. I'm sorry. It's a disaster waiting to happen now. And I know that goes against my words as well now, because I said you keep a centre-back pairing, but it's about the right one, man. Get the right centre-back pairing. And for me, you know what the worst thing about Maguire is? It's accountability, man. This team lacks any accountability for themselves. They're all blaming each other.
But Saeed, I'm telling you. But Saeed, listen to me. How can you impose accountability on a football club where there's no culture of it? There's zero culture of it. I did a show, Saeed. We did a show a month ago about accountability. Ten Hag tried to bring accountability to a club that's never had it. Well, guess what? He's one person. He can't bring it. At the end of the day, it's simple. It's simple. The funds have dried up. Now they want to get rid of the young, promising talent like Ghana.
I bet you now you'll see bloody Iqbal going in a few years, man. I'm telling you, man. That's what they'll do as well, man. They have no interest anymore of doing what they need to do. You know what I mean? Like, it's a joke, man. And if they give Rashford a new contract, no, I don't know if you agree with me or not, but if they get a new contract with Rashford, I'll absolutely lose it, man. Because his brother's trying to run down a new deal, get a new deal, and be linked with PSG. And then what do United do? They'll give in to him and give him a new deal. I'm sorry, man. It's just, for me, it's a joke, man. And that's another thing as well. This Bruno Fernandes new deal as well. At the time, Norrin, I said to you, why do we give Bruno Fernandes a new deal? What has he deserved to get a new deal? We're not winning.
Look. Right. This is what makes conspiracy, like the conspiracy theory that the managers are never in control. Here, Saeed, 1 second.
Yeah.
So here, look. It's Fergie quote. I'm just going to send it to you now on the private chat. You can post it.
Yeah. Big up to McIver. We need to unite. Pundits loving our demise. Of course, man. And that Jamie Redknapp as well. Another one, man. Another puppet. Absolute muppet.
What was he saying?
He was just trying to say, but it's on the players, isn't it? How's it on the owners? They spend money and all that. Fair play to Gary Neville for sticking down and understanding
that. Yesterday? What was that yesterday? Oh, you mean Redknapp? That muppet, yeah.
Yeah, he says here. Oh, you could have just put it in the chat, to be fair. 1 second.
Yeah, I'll put it in the chat.
No, here it is. So this is what he said, people. I hope he does well. The club needs someone to get in control. I hope it does well, Fergie said. I don't understand that. Like I said, it doesn't really give me any sort of...
But control side, the word control, what does that mean, though? That they don't give managers control, do they?
Yeah.
That's what that is.
But then Fergie's in and around that. He's amongst it. David Gill's still there. I question David Gill's...
They're just ambassadors to get paid. That's it. Like the brother was saying before, the brother from India. What's his name? Mumbai. What's his name?
Mumbai, yeah. Mumbai something, yeah.
Yeah, big up.
United kick off as bad as Said in foot golf. Listen, I would do a better job, man. Big up to Sandor Fajda, I think it is. The technical staff before now is more responsible than the Glazers. Honestly, Man United will still experience a deadlock situation ever happened. You know more. You know what it is with me. You know what I seen Ten Hag doing, man. He twitches his mouth. You know, have you seen? By the way,
Yeah, because he's just anger. The anger in it. The anger.
Yeah.
Can you imagine, Saeed, the anger? Listen, we can't scapegoat Ronaldo. We cannot scapegoat people. We can't scapegoat Ten Hag. Yeah. This is a culture that's right from the top. Me and Saeed know people, and they get told, even when they come up ideas in different departments on this football club, stay in your lane, keep your mouth shut.
Yeah, keep your mouth shut. Yeah. Especially the ones that I know that I speak to in and around like the foundation. I don't know if you know people from the Man United Foundation. You know, they're the ones for me that I talk to, and when they say, "Oh, I can't really talk about that," or "I can't really say anything about that," you know, when you know there's like an oppression at Man United, that's when you know.
These people love the club. That's what's heartbreaking.
Yeah,
majority of people who work for this football club are United fans, and they love this football club, except for the people who run it and control it. That's how tragic it is, Saeed. That's like the most tragic thing. The majority of people who work for Man United love it. But actually, other than the people who have the power and the control of this football club.
Yeah. Sam Bob says, Saeed, big up Saeed, honest prediction for the Liverpool game.
If we keep it on the double figures, then yeah, we've done well in it.
You know what? Like, I'll be really honest with you. Yeah, United right now, like a 0-0 or a 1-1 or 2-1. Right,
bite your hand off. Bite your hand off.
And you know what it is? Yeah, I was on the Big Six, and I said, yeah, it'd be a good result if United get a draw at
Brentford.
At Brentford, and they all went to me and said, "Brentford, what are you talking about?" And they wanted me to basically like change my mind and be like, "No, we're Man United. No, we're not Man United anymore. The United of old, where we have the arrogance. We can't have that arrogance anymore. The United right now, you have to be realistic. You have to be honest with yourself and say,
Trust Fund, mate. Trust Fund FC. We need to change the name in it. Man United died 17 years ago, mate. Yeah, it died. That football club died 17 years ago, mate. We won trophies still, but it died. The soul of that club died. The soul of that club died when the vultures get hold of it. The leeches.
Yeah, you know my thing is with the Ralph situation now, you know, could we get like say now Ten Hag wants a director of football now, and he says, you know what, John Milton, I don't think you're good enough. I don't think that's what I'm saying. When Alex Ferguson says have that level of control, he can't have that level of control and can say, you know what, I want a director of football. I want you to go and get me a compass kind of type. What was the other one called? Richard? What's the other one? The other one?
David Gill.
No. The other one that Paul Mitchell.
Oh, Paul Mitchell. Listen, we spoke to Dan Ashworth. You know the guy who's at Newcastle now? Yeah. He's the one that got that kid that bullied us for Brighton. You know that Casido kid? 4-point-something million. Signed him. Tim Figgery, big up Tim Figgery, man. He's the Latin American football expert. He said this kid has got absolute ceiling in terms of where he can get to.
Yeah.
And people want to come out at me and troll me about Conte. Let me say something to you now. Go and read and research, mate. That man has got 2-year cycle, mate. I'll be shocked if he's there more than 2 years. That's Spurs. So if you wanted Man United just a quick fix with the Glazers and that, and then them falling out, and then him having to take the Glazers to court, mate. Nah. And now they're warming up your boy Poch side.
Oh, no.
Yeah, you know, people are already talking about Poch.
Wait, why was he trending today? Pochettino?
Because they're saying that he's the man that to come and take over, innit? Finally sort this club out. He's gonna sort this out. What happened to him at PSG?
Band 2 says Fergie backed the Glazers to buy the club, knowing he would have told.
This is where we're wrong. This is where we disagree. Fergie, if you go and find the quote, there's video of Fergie and Gill, both of them saying, "Nah, this is a hostile takeover. This cannot be allowed to happen." They all knew what was coming. They all knew it. But then, Ban 2 code 3. I tell you, afterwards, Fergie became one of the highest paid managers. David Gill became one of the highest paid CEOs. And they all changed their tune. But to be fair, they were in full control. Other than the funds, They weren't giving the money. And like I said, look back in those seasons, there were times where Stoke City spent more money than Man United.
Well, Nottingham Forest is spending more money than us now. Nottingham Forest. You know what, man?
By the way, big up to Nottingham Forest, man.
Big up to Nottingham Forest. By the way, see, Dean
Welcome back, man. Listen, people don't know it. People don't know the history in it. Nottingham Forest, one of the biggest geniuses in world football, guy called Brian Clough. He was a bit dodgy. Don't mind you. He was dodgy as F, right? But he was a football genius. He was a genius. He took mediocre players to win 2 European Cups. Saeed, he coached mediocre players into winning league titles and got them to win 2 European Cups. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable. But such a brilliantly historic club. I thought the stadium, their fans, big up to their fans. And you know what? Big up Dean Hendo, by the way.
I was going to say, you've seen one keeper have a good game and the other keeper. I ain't going to lie to you, man. I think I'm one of the biggest David De Gea supporters there is, yeah. You know me, Norridin, innit? I defend him till the cows come home. Even when people are shouting in the stadium, I'm like, you see what David De Gea's done there? He's just saved you the game. But even me, as a staunch defender of David De Gea, know the time is up now. You know, I think the
only thing we can credit him, I've never heard Maguire say that, McTominay or Fred or anybody else or Luke Shaw ever come out and say it was my fault.
Yeah, so that's again. Yeah,
and he went around the media when the players were coming up saying, "I want to speak." He went around the BBC, he went around Sky, he went around everywhere to say, "I want to speak."
That's why for me, I like the ownership in him. But I'll be honest with you, man. I think for me, I don't know if I can take any more.
I told you, innit? My heart broke in after Sheffield United. You know, you remember when I was done with him, innit? That Sheffield United game. When the guy fouled him and he didn't even go down. And he was so scared.
Yeah, I think for me, like I said, the new goalkeeper next season has to be something in the priority.
Saeed, on what money? On who? Where? We're not a football club. Have you not heard the money's dried up? Saeed, we owe nearly 200 million in transfer in transfer money to other clubs. Listen, guys, I swear to you. Somebody saying here, reactionary from the United fan base. De Gea has saved us with. No, yes, I understand that. But in modern football, he's not it. He's not it, bro. PKK, he's not it, bro. I'm telling you, we loved him, man. Me and Saeed, I'm telling you now. I remember the days in the big games, in all those seasons under Van Gaal, under Jose, under David Moyes, where he was saving us from fighting relegation for finishing outside the top 10. But nah, it's done, man. We got the money. Dwayne, where?
Show me the money. Do you know where the money is?
Show me the money. Dwayne, where's the money?
Where's the money, man? You let me know, man. I want to see where that money is, man. We can spend that then.
Dwayne, they don't put any of their own money in.
Yeah,
and they siphon off all the other money to all the dividend payments and everything else. All the hundreds of millions they take out, because they don't just, it's like they take specific dividends, but they siphon off all of the money into interest down payments and all of that. We still own similar money to the way that we owned 17 years ago. And people who are in business, I tell you, oh, yeah, debt is good. In finances, debt is good. Man United have never been in a debt since only during wartime, Saeed. Wartime. 1930s. 1932, I think it was. Last time we were in a debt. It's simple. Man United, as a football club, grew organically. We're organic, not like Man City, not like what Newcastle has now, what PSG are, Chelsea are. We grew organically. Grew to what we are, to having the biggest fan base ever. And that's why I big up Gary Neville, man. Regardless.
100%.
We disagree with him on times. But
same.
Him up for saying it.
Ollie era pissed me off.
And Rio's like, Rio's now like, man, nah, mate. Rio, unless you make a public, Saeed, I've tweeted at him, bro. He's like, oh, I don't believe what's coming out of Old Trafford. I'm like, ask your pal Richard Arnold, mate. I said, go and ask your pal Richard Arnold, because you were telling us he's different. He's not like Woodward. And all you asked about is brands. Come out, mate. Come be part of that. Forget the studio.
You'll see him
somewhere.
You'll see him
support the protest. Come on the protest. Any of you legends, you love this football club. You love this football club. I want to see you at the protest. Come to the protest. Come out against the Glazers.
They got Andy Tate.
Come out. Andy, what do you think, Andy? Any of these so-called legends that we worship still, all cowards, all getting their gravy money train. Come out. You love Man United. Come out against them. Come out. And now he's like, oh, well, you know what? Yeah, we thought it was going to change. No, we knew better. And you were shutting us down. You said this guy is different. And I was telling everybody and their nan, it's bankers playing musical chairs. They make it outside. The propaganda was so real, Said. They made it out that Richard Arnold was like a fly on the wall. Like he was a poster or something. Like a mannequin. He's like he's like that. He's there in the boardroom and he's like that.
I still can't believe people took the bait, man. That day when people were telling me, man, feel sorry for him. You know, he's speaking to the fans. And then people said to me, Myrtle Madness, man. I remember you guys, man. The ones that told me Myrtle Madness. I will remember that.
You know what? Listen, you know what? Some of them, majority of them, they don't want to think bad of their football club.
I know. But you know, it wasn't about that, though, did it? Was the fact that they were forcing that ideology on me. They were forcing it on me. You can't force that on me.
Listen. There is positivity and there's toxic positivity, Saeed.
There you go.
There's positivity and there's toxic. And you know what? There's a big road between those two.
Yeah. Big up to, just going to read the last couple of super chats before we wrap up. Sandor says United as a club should function like Bayern Munich. I think we would, just as a tenth of their football club would suffice us. Just running like a football club, a tenth.
We're not a football club. We're not.
Yo, big up the shirt, man. When you man dissing the shirt, man, the shirt's the big one, man. Why still play McFred? Listen, I generally think there's a contract going on, man, because I think Fred must be sick of McTominay and vice versa. They must be sick of each other playing with each other, honestly. But listen, people, yeah, go on.
I saw this shirt in Brazil. It was handmade by Brazilian women in a place called Salvador, Bahia. And this is the greenery. This represents all of the nature around that part of Brazil. So get a bit of, get to know, innit, if you don't know, innit.
Get to know if you don't know.
You ain't going to see many people walk around wearing this shirt in the UK, pal.
There you go, man. People, we're going to wrap up the podcast here. Podcast 191. People, leave a like on the video. Our pal is over 500 like. Let's get it to 800 people, man. There's still 1.2k in the building. Make sure you leave a like on the video. Come join us on Nuri's channel, United Real Therapy. We're going to be discussing Ghana. What else did you say you're discussing? Anything else?
We're also asking the question simple. Are we a football club?
There you go. So come and join us, people. We're going to be going live straight after this. I'll be back tomorrow, people, for Rivals Talk with Grizz Khan. And then for wherever the week takes us, people, you know what I mean? Just stick together. Stay, you know what I mean? Keep the faith, man. You know what I mean? Like I said, man, you know what I mean? We just got to keep the faith, man, and just hope that things change. But people, we're out. Take care.